Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we are currently looking to push our population levels up just a little bit. And that is, of course, because we need to get some additional goods into the city. We're having a little bit of a bottleneck there, I believe. And I did want to address that someone pointed out that industrial areas do create goods. And this is true, they do. I've had... Is that a bird? Yeah, that's a bird. Okay, for a second there I thought there was a car flying sideways. But no, we're good. This is true, that industrial areas do create goods. However, I have had completely successful cities without them, using only office areas, and we're doing that because we're trying to do a little bit of environmental preservation with this particular city. Now, when that happens, these goods will get imported, and that usually just means that it's a little less efficient, I believe. Not 100% on that, but I believe that that means that it's like less tax efficient, is my understanding of it. I know that the goods can be imported, and we just have an import bottleneck right now. I'm 95% sure that that's what's happening. So we are, of course, working on getting towards Metropolis so that we can get cargo airports because we can't bring in goods by sea. So that is what we are doing here right now. We could make a small area for industry, but with the whole idea being that we're not really connected, at least via road, it kind of defeats the purpose because we'd have to put those connections in at that point. So that is the overall state of things right now. And we're just going to continue working on these areas over here. I do want to take out these power lines. Like that. Excellent. That will allow us to zone this area as dense residential. Perfect. And we'll just do something... Why can we zone out here? That's a weird place to be able to zone, right? Okay. Well, I guess we'll allow it for now. And yeah, we're going to continue to have some commercial issues for a little while. We're going to need to bring in additional cargo by air. And that's okay. That is something that I am definitely expecting. We'll probably put a single cargo airport somewhere, maybe even here. I mean, it'll have to be someplace that can be connected, ideally by road, to both of these. Or potentially we could have a dedicated train connection for it. I don't know. We'll have to address that when we get there, I feel like. Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. We'll have to address that a little bit later on. So we're definitely lacking in students on the Island City Institute. Once again, I think that that has to do with the fact that the game just kind of assumes that these districts would be connected up via road. I'm wondering what would actually happen if we were to do a quick connection like that. Like, just as a really, really cheap, quick test, right? So what we would have it do is perhaps come off over here, and we'd have a quick connection that came off here, and then that would want to go underground relatively quickly. And in fact, we may want to have it go underground, like, right here. Like this. And then that would be a tunnel, of course, and we would have to go down underneath this tunnel. Like so. And it would make its way all the way down here in a truly awkward and hideous fashion, but we don't actually care about what the underground areas look like. And then it would come in, say, where do we want it to come in? Over here we would probably affect coastline. Maybe we have it come in over here, and then bring this up. That would be to the surface. Bring it up to, say... This would definitely affect coastline over here. We could bring it up over here to the surface and have it just connect in over here. And this is, as I said, just a test. I would love to have it over here, and actually that would kind of work. We could have it come down a bit more like that. And I think that's what we'll do. Again, this is simply a test. So that connects in up here. And I'm expecting this to kind of get traffic overloaded, in all honesty. We'll see how it goes, but this is mostly just to determine if this allows this campus area to get more students or not. We will likely remove this tunnel if it does not work. So we're just testing that for right now. We do require a little bit more in terms of industrial, which will satisfy with additional offices. Yeah, they don't produce goods. That should be okay. We maybe want to put a little industrial in for right now, until we can get our population up, though. That might not be the worst idea. We can replace this a little bit later on. We can put it over here, and it will pollute, but the pollution will dissipate over time slowly. So we'll put in a little bit over there, and they'll be able to produce some goods. You can see here, we're definitely getting in more goods down here. But this is not supposed to be stopping. I think that our issue here is actually, though, that we are having pedestrian issues. So we may want to think about creating some sort of elevated footbridge over here. Maybe. How would we go about doing it? That's quite a question, isn't it? Like, in order to make this actually happen, it would need to do something kind of like this, but that's going to be slope too steep. There's no way around it. Well, this should no longer be necessary, right? Let's look at our power. Yeah, we could pull this out of here and have this connect in like that. And then let's just think about how we might want to utilize a path here. A connection over here. This is just very awkward, this location, for this type of a path. I would want it to be minimal, which I believe is 3 elevation steps on the lowest step. Yeah, 3 elevation steps. So how would we want to put this in? It just requires so much space to put in an elevated footpath. We may be required to move our road maintenance depot over a little, and our bus depot as well, which would be acceptable. That's something that we can definitely do. And with that extra space, that would allow us to have the path come in, say, like this, and then hit the ground, like right here. And then that would come in over here as well. And then the question is, how do we have it connect to here? That's going to be slope too steep. We could have it come up, say, here, and then say, we're going to need to take this section out, I believe. We could have this come up over this way. I wanted to snap to there. That's apparently slope too steep. I don't believe that's actually the case, but I think it's not liking this 90-degree corner idea that I had, which doesn't make a lot of sense for footpaths, if I'm honest. But regardless, let's go ahead and turn off snapping for right now and place it right here, bring it up to here, and then we could run, say, a curve tool, bring it around to here, and bring it up a level. And then curve tool again, bring it around to here and bring it up a level. And then connect this in like that. That's something that we could do. And I think that works overall. And then we'd also want to do it over here, right? So this would connect in, say, here. And then we would be using the curve tool. And it would connect in over here and down a level to, say, here. And then over this way and down a level. That's distance too short. Okay, we need to back this off a little bit. Let's go ahead and start from here. Bring this up a level. And have that come down. That doesn't want to build here. Let's try turning snapping back on. Put it right, not there. Actually, I want not road guidelines. Just snap to the grid. That'll work. So then something like that. And then something like that. And then this connects straight in, like so. Oh, that's not exactly the height that I wanted it to be over here. Okay, so we'll take that back out and we'll try this again. And that goes... needs to be in the curve tool. It goes here, And then... That's not exactly centered in the grid, is it? I wanted to snap only to grid. There we go. That's centered in the grid. And is this the correct height? No, it is not. Well, maybe it's this one over here that isn't the correct height, actually. Can we just stretch that across? No, that space already occupied. So we do need to bring this up in additional height. So, we would, of course, snap this over here, and then to here. That goes up one height. That should put it at a height of 2. Up another puts it at a height of 3. And then this connects here, and then we bring it down to surface level as minimally as possible. Or rather, as quickly as possible. I don't know, I feel like that is too steep of a slope there. Let's maybe bring these down a little bit more gently, and have it come down maybe even all the way at this intersection. Maybe. There's a lot of people waiting at that bus stop, which is fine. They could come wait at this bus stop, if they wanted to. Now, I'm not sure if those are going to actually see any utilization. It doesn't appear so. I mean, it's pathfinding, right? We could, however, forbid pedestrians at this intersection, and I think that that's something that we probably should do. No, I don't want to clear all traffic. What I wanted was vehicle restrictions. Here, on this street. No, not vehicle restrictions. Where was it? I know I found a way. Junction restrictions. Yes. Do not allow pedestrians at either of these two junctions. There we go. Essentially, force them to take the elevated footbridge. Fantastic. Okay, that'll work. It's not exactly symmetrical, but it's kind of close.
What does it feel like to
Kind of close.
What does it feel like to steer a river? What does it smell
These guys
like
parked?
to smell a mountain?
No. They're
At
just
Jubilee,
not
we're
going.
committed to letting you do the
Why are we not
impossible,
going here?
and now we've
Let's look at
succeeded
our
in letting
junction
you
signage.
drive the undrivable. The Jubilee Dementia. Car
Maybe this
engineers
should be
said
a
should be
traffic light?
made. Test drive one today and experience what scientists for decades claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving. Jubilee. Be
Okay.
reasonable. Or
Let's
be
see if that
fast.
cleans anything up here. I don't think we need one over here.
I really like being a radio host, but if I
Why
could
are these
choose
guys
one
stopping
thing,
at this
it would
intersection when it's a green light?
voices of all our awesome listeners. I'm not sure how I
It's
feel
only the
since I
drivers that are
started
following the law, to be clear, that are stopping at this light.
False tech cameras.
Hey, that's not a stop sign. That's just a turn prohibited sign. So,
That's why our cameras are the biggest on the market.
why indeed are they
Shutters
stopping?
the loudest. Our lenses the longest. Cameras aren't paperweights. They're
They
tools.
definitely shouldn't be.
Tools used to create. In fact, the most
I also feel like we need more buses, so let's go ahead and work up our bus budget a little bit, at least during the day, but most
You're
likely
listening to Cities Radio,
at night as
the
well.
best music from around the globe.
Let's get more buses out there. So our bus depot is going to send more buses out. So that's now running 8 buses. Nice. Is that the cap? Like, could we get more buses if we built more bus depots? That's something I'd like to experiment with. Let's actually look at that. Let's look at that here. So if we put in a second bus depot over here, does this deploy additional buses? It looks like it doesn't. I'm not shocked by this. I just wanted to test. Fantastic. And this bridge is now seeing a good amount of usage. Now, I am definitely noticing that this bus stop is causing some traffic holdups. And I kind of want to remove it, I feel like. If they want to go to a bus stop, they can come to here, or here, or here, or here, via the footbridge. This way, we have space for the buses to actually get into this lane, and they're not blocking traffic anywhere near as much. This should be much, much better, I think. Okay, let's see how this traffic flows for a moment here. Okay. I still don't understand why they're stopping at this crosswalk, but okay. They really shouldn't be. Yeah, I think that a traffic light here isn't really effective. Whoa, look at that guy just heading up onto the sidewalk, cruising on through. What a jerk. Okay. Now, the major issue that I'm seeing here is actually that we only have the one lane here. Now, this did clean up, and that's great to see. But what if this didn't go straight? Like, what if you had to turn here, but going this way, you were fine, and you had to merge in here? I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on this. I think those two changes with the pedestrians and the buses have made a big difference. So we'll just keep an eye on that for now. And we do have some need of having some amount of commercial zoning happening. So we'll go ahead and put some commercial up over here. Excellent. And cleaning up that bottleneck will very likely, I think, give us some assistance in getting goods up here. Now, to be clear, that's not going to solve the problem. We're not going to be able to solve the problem, at least the way I'd like to, for a little while. So I'm going to just put in some residential over here. Yeah, I know we don't have a lot of demand for it, but we will eventually, and we'll just get this pre-zoned for now. There we go. There is definitely a lot more traffic over here now. A whole lot more traffic over here. How are we doing on our students over here? It has come up a little bit, but not tremendously. Okay. How's our traffic in this tunnel going? It's not super overloaded. Maybe it is super overloaded, actually. No. No, seems to be okay. Now, I do want this to be primarily for cargo, but a crematorium hearse going all the way over there? Awkward. Very, very awkward indeed. So we do have some industrial over here, and I'm going to zone another subsection of it. I don't like it, but it is a temporary fix. We are going to remove it once we get cargo airports, assuming that we start actually importing. Because we absolutely should be importing goods. We are attempting to run more of a service-based economy than a goods-based economy. So that is our ultimate goal, and I think it's fairly successful. We just have a current slight shortage. Excellent. Ah! So, I see this is back. What's going on here? This seems like a good candidate. Oh, hello, academic here. This seems like a good candidate for a traffic light. Okay. Now, as far as this over here goes, this is already a traffic light. And I'm wondering... how we can alleviate this stress a little bit. Just thinking about it. So yes, I'm aware. Oh, we don't actually want there to be stoplights here. That shouldn't be the case. That's probably a huge part of the problem right now. I did not intend for there to be stoplights here. Thank you for the tip, game. That was unintentional. We could unify these, I suppose, and essentially take this out and have this come out this way and try to link in like that. There. Something like that. And then have this be stoplighted. That said, this is not an absolute ton of space. We'll keep an eye on that and see how that helps. Just removing the double stoplight there is going to help tremendously, but we'll see. As far as this over here goes, it looks like it's our left-hand side at this point that's struggling. These guys, they're backed up attempting to navigate this intersection. So that we are waiting to see if that improves. However, I don't believe it will. And realistically, I feel like we want this to be a bit more along the lines of that and that. Okay. Let's see how that ends up going, shall we? It looks like we've got plenty of space over here. And it may be... Well, this is going to go at this point. It may take some time to clean up as much backup as we have here. So we'll see if that ends up fixing this particular situation. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it does. I believe it may well. Maybe. Emphasis on the maybe. Well, like I said, just not having the two stop signs, or the two stoplights here, will go a long ways. I'm kind of thinking about having an offshoot of this road that comes out over this way and then goes, like, underground here. Like this. And then connects in over here. To alleviate some of the stress on this intersection. Let's see how that goes. Now, this is currently two-directional, and that's not actually all that helpful. I don't think that it's useful to have it be that, since this is one-way. So we'll just switch this to one-way as well, and that will shift some of the burden here. Wait a second. Pedestrians walking this tunnel? Why would they not take the metro? Okay. They're not taking the metro. They would rather walk. I mean, it'll get them exercise, so good for them, I guess. However, I do feel like in terms of dealing with the campus students, that did not exactly alleviate the issue. We've definitely got a lot of traffic coming through there, and I mean, this kind of ruins the purpose behind the island city, right? So we're probably going to end up removing that tunnel. I don't think we're going to do it quite yet, to be clear. We'll see. Okay. And this is currently stop signed. Which, I mean, in terms of the actual game here, I feel like it should be yield. Because I feel like that's just more efficient when you don't have to take, you know, crashes into account. Oh, there go ambulances into the tunnel. Wonderful. In the meantime, let's come on down here and check on this situation. It does look like this has cleaned up nicely. Yeah, those two changes, I think, was plenty sufficient. We're still going to have potentially a little bit of a bottleneck here, and I do still think that having this be one way may actually end up helping pretty dramatically, because that allows us to use both lanes here. So let's see when they decide to start using the second lane. Should be in a moment. And in fact, in order to match this, I'm going to use this. There we go. Just to match the sizes there. Perfect. Okay, let's check back in over here. I do expect this to... Oh, there we go. Hello, pause menu. I do expect this, rather, to remain a bit of a mess. To be clear. Just how much traffic is in that tunnel? There's a lot, I know that. Perhaps we should upgrade this to highway? We could. We certainly could. That slope too steep, apparently. Okay, so we'll take this out and take that out. And we'll just have to bring this highway in. Actually, we'll just do that for right now. And then we'll take this highway in and connect it like that. And then we'll take this 2-lane road and bring it in like that. Okay, then we can, of course, upgrade all of this down over this way for a while anyway, up to highway. And yeah, this is very expensive, but why would we care about cash? Like, that's kind of irrelevant to us. Okay. And this is, of course, one way now. I didn't think about that. I definitely didn't think about that. Let's take this to be a 6-lane road instead of a highway. There we go. And I'm still very likely to remove this. I'm experimenting right now. This is my process. Okay, something like that. This is a really awkward intersection here. And it seems to be okay for now. As far as this backup up here goes, I mean, to some degree, that's just always going to be there, I feel like. I still do want to upgrade this to be more lanes, but to some degree, I just feel like I can't. You know what we could do, though? We've got this little shortcut here. What if we were to remove this and make this be bidirectional? And just have it come off over this direction, like that. That should alleviate some of the stress on this intersection, because they can come down here and then come down onto this road. Now, this will remain uncontrolled over here. I want to make sure that that doesn't have a traffic light. It does. Get rid of that traffic light, please. Excellent. So something along the lines of that. It's not pretty, but it should help traffic flow pretty dramatically. Is this our first utilizer? Yes, it is. So that is one truck that did not enter this queue. That's fantastic. And they can also come down here, come this way, and then turn into the tunnel if they so desire, because it's bidirectional. Now, we could upgrade this to be like 4-lane. That might be useful. The other thing that we could do is further overload this intersection by bringing this in, something like that. That's going to be slope too steep for sure, but we could just have it come over here. It's true. Like that. Well, we'll see how much that actually gets utilized. It's not pretty. But I'm not going for pretty here, necessarily. Oh, it is time to put a cut in here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time when we'll realize that there's a traffic problem. And by traffic, I mean garbage. See you all next time.